just turn the exhaust in and then send it straight up that way. I think it's going to be the game plan, and that should keep it out of the way of the wheels. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And it's Wednesday, so we're back working on AMT's 1955 Cameo. This is the truck we're building for the Mars Garage truck build. It's for the 10,000 subscriber celebration. And if you'd like to get caught up on this build, there's a link down in the description to a playlist, get you completely caught up to where we are right now. And where we are right now is trying to get everything to fit. I have learned my lesson on the F100 that we were working on yesterday. I'm getting everything to fit perfect before we start moving forward with paint and all that kind of thing. So let's take a look at kind of what it's taking to basically get this big motor to fit into this truck and get it to where it'll sit on the ground, which is the plan here. So first thing I had to do, and the first thing I want to point out, originally we had the turbos sitting right here. Let me find a pointer here. We had them sitting back where this location here was on the shock towers here. So I've had to move them actually completely in front of the shock towers. The reason being is with them behind, they got in the way of we're using these Cameo wheels and tires. They're right in the way. There was no way that would work. So I've had to move the whole motor forward, which has made other problems, which we're going to take a look at here in just a second. But I did. Let me see if I can get this squared up and make sure that we're all in place there. So we still are pretty tight with the wheels, but I think we'll be okay. The main problem I'm having now, it's got the turbos out of the way, but we still have exhaust that has to come out of these turbos. So I'm trying to decide. I mean, we have the notches. Make sure I show you. We have the notches here that we made in the inner fenders that are still there. So our turbos are a little further forward. So we have space to maybe we just take the exhaust, turn it 40, or 90 degrees to here, and then come straight up, right? So then this one would turn 90, then turn 90 straight up, and so they'd be sticking out of the hood here. I think we could do that on this side and keep. We're gonna have a steering box in here that I'm gonna have to get fitting in here too. So I've got to keep that in mind with exhaust running right there. We might put, I wonder if we can do the steering box. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. I can probably put it, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But I think that's the game plan for right now, unless that starts getting in the way, is we're gonna just turn the exhaust in and then send it straight up that way. I think it's gonna be the game plan, and that should keep it out of the way of the wheels for the most part. And I guess while we're looking at it, I think for the suspension, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We've got our leaf springs like so. Let me see if I can just kind of put one in. Oh, it's this. Where's the other one? Let me put this one in place here. We have our leaf springs that are going to be sitting just like this, which is pretty straightforward. That'll make it nice and easy. And then we just have a solid I-beam style front axle, I guess, whatever you want to call this. They used to sit here, right? Would sit on. So I think we just essentially flip kit it, right? And so that it sits under on the bottom side of the leaf spring. If I could make this happen for you guys. Let me see if I can hold that in place. So I'm holding everything else in place. There we go. So we'll kind of just, I guess what you would call flip kit it here so that it sits on this side. And then we might just put a block. So we'll just do a block with some U-bolts. And I think we can get, with this kind of drop style, I guess you would call it a drop style spindle here, I think we can get the wheel low enough. In fact, we can probably go too low. I don't know. We might not even need a block. We'll have to see, but that should get the wheel about right here. It should get us low enough. So I think that's, as far as the suspension goes, going to be pretty easy because we're going stagnant too. I mean, maybe I'll try to fit in an airbag or something. I don't know. I was thinking just going stagnant suspension, just lowered, just to keep it a little bit easier. But the other thing, or I guess let me know what you think. I mean, should we try to get an airbag on there or just keep it more simple and just do a stagnant lowered suspension? I don't know. You let me know. But the other thing that I really had to work on, let me take the body off here, is the firewall. So we still have to have firewall clearance. By the way, I did loosely glue the front bumper on because that's what's holding the frame rails, the width of the frame rails where they need to be. So that I can, which is helping. I didn't want them to move around the turbos while I was trying to mock things up. So that's holding it in place there. I can just pop it off when it comes time. So the other thing that I've had to work on is the firewall. So you can see I've started notching the firewall. Basically, this is the original location of the firewall here. I cut out the center section and then just pushed it back. That's all I did, just pushed it back. And then I've kind of started to try to box it in for some strength. So I just put some walls back this way, boxed it in for the strength, or kind of gusseted it. And then this is where that needs to sit. In fact, where is, so here's the dash, which will be sitting, I can't put it on because I need to shave these back to here yet. I haven't had a chance to do it. These will get shaved all the way back even with the firewall here. And then that's right at this back side, this edge here of when it's in place of the dash. So the dash will kind of sit right down in that, so that basically that's sitting right behind the dash now. And I had actually moved it that far back because originally I thought the motor was going to be sitting, let me see if I can get it back there. I thought the motor was going to be sitting here, where we originally thought we were going to do it, but actually it's going to be sitting further forward. The motor's going to be sitting about right there. So it actually gives a lot of clearance back there, which is kind of nice. It makes it look a little better instead of everything just sitting on the firewall. And hey, if you have to end up having to work on this motor in the future, you can get your hand back in there. That's what I was thinking when I was first doing this. Like, man, if somebody has to work on this motor, they're gonna have to pull the whole body off. But I think that's gonna look pretty good like that. And I'll still retain, if we want to use it, I can retain the original battery location. We'll see. That might end up being where the oil reservoir goes. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But I think we're getting close as far as having everything in place for the motor to fit. Let me see if I can get it back in place. If I can, like so. Is that got the firewall? In fact, let me point a few more things out here real quick. You can see that the body sits all the way down onto the firewall, which is nice. We won't have any gaps there. And then what's really nice is look where the turbos end up living. They're right here in the grills. And speaking of the grill, what did I do with it? I went ahead and took Mars Garage himself's advice, and I just sanded out the back of this grill until it opened it up. So this grill used to have it was solid back here, and I just sanded and sanded. I took literally probably the 2.5 hours of sanding, and I'm not even, I'd like to say I'm exaggerating. I mean, I slowly just took it down. I didn't want to mess anything up. So I just sanded it down real slow, which opened it up. So that's going to, I think, look pretty cool. Once the grill is in there, now we'll be able to see, let me hold this all in place. We'll be able to see those turbos through the grill. I don't know if you can see them right now, but once they're painted up, I think you definitely will be able to. That motor's sitting a little forward. There we go. I think that's going to look pretty cool to be able to see through like that. But anyways, I think that's about where we're at right now. I might have to take a little bit more. So just so you know, I had to take all of this ledge out right here to make this happen because these moved way forward now. So I had to take a bunch of material out of kind of where the grill used to sit. This grill used to be probably 3 times that thickness. So you had that same size ledge, but it was easy enough. I just whittled it down until it was right fitting. I might just take it down just a little bit more just to give a little extra space. But I'll do that before next week. I want to finalize the firewall, which means I could more finalize the interior because I'll be able to get the drive shaft in and then finish out the transmission tunnel. So I've got to build a transmission tunnel in here too, which is kind of going to cap off the firewall here into a transmission tunnel that comes back to our seat that we've got like so. And I think that should be actually pretty easy to do. I'll keep it pretty simple. So I'll try to get that done before next time. So we'll have that finalized. I'm going to try to make sure and have everything for the suspension worked out. I'm not going to have it probably, put in or painted or anything like that. But I just want to get everything worked out from bumper to bumper before, we start painting. And speaking of painting, we have to patina this stuff. And so I used to use the folk arts, what they called rust. So they had folk art had these two paints. It was light rust and dark rust, right? And so the colors are fine, but what was neat about them is they have like a grit in them. So you can make kind of that gritty rust look. I also have a special rust concoction that I use to do rust, which I think I'll put some more together for next week so you can kind of see how it's made. I'll go step by step how to do that. But as far as doing the kind of that gritty rust, to have that bubbly gritty rust look, this is what I used to use, but they don't have it anymore. But what they do have is just what do they even call this? A texture. It's just called texture medium. Tintable medium, texture medium. So it's the gritty material that's in this that they had in their rust materials, but it's just you add your own color. So I need to get the folk art colors or whatever I'm going to use, the tints that I'm going to use for this now, to put that together. So we'll get all that together for next week also, so you can take a look at that, because I'm going to try to start patinaing the body and the inside of the bed that is going to get rust patinaed. So I want to work on that for next week. So if that's something you want to check out, make sure and hit the subscribe button and the notification button, whatever it is these days. And let me know what you think down below. While you're down there hitting that subscribe button, type in one of them comments. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you think so far for the Mars Garage shop build. And hit that hype button, hit that like button, hit all those, do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube. I've got a lot to do. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.